Hi, grade 8. We are going to continue our look at Habakkuk, the justice seeker. So I just want to remind you what a justice seeker is. First of all, our world is not the way God intended it to be. And so as a justice seeker, we need to take a look and be able to see what injustices are in our world. Things like poverty, racism, gender inequality, war, exploitation, workplace, abuse, corrupt governments, global pandemics. We need to be able to see these things and understand, hey, that's not the way God meant it to be. God calls us to be justice seekers. Last time we took a look at kind of all the bad things happening in our world today and kind of questions that we have. And we want to know, where is God in all of this? And we're going to take a look at Habakkuk, a prophet who had a lot of the same kinds of questions that we do. And then we talked about, if you could talk to God, what would you ask him? And Habakkuk has the opportunity to talk to God. I would love that opportunity. And we're going to take a look at how he talks to God and what he talks to God about. So let's just take a look at who Habakkuk is. So some background. Habakkuk is a minor prophet. He lives around 610 or 605 when the book Habakkuk takes place. And it's the same time as the king Jehoiakim and the major prophet Jeremiah, and also very importantly, right before Judah's exile to Babylon. In chapter 1, we're going to hear a lot about Babylon. During this time of Habakkuk, the people of Judah do not follow God and his laws. They worship idols, sacrifice their children to pagan gods, which I can't even begin to think of being able to do that. They're evil. They're terrible. They don't even want to listen to God. Take it even a step further, their king, King Jehoiakim, refuses to listen to God's prophets, burns their writings, arrests them, and even kills some of them. So this is the world that Habakkuk is living in. So he too has a lot of questions for God. So we said Habakkuk is a prophet. What prophets can you name? Think about that. How many can you name? What do you think is the job of a prophet? And maybe what are some characteristics of a prophet? Well, first of all, Habakkuk is not your typical prophet. Most prophets speak to God's people on God's behalf. So Israel is sinning. God has a prophet to go to the Israelite people and tell them, hey, you need to stop sinning, or they're going to bring punishment or something, and then the people repent. This is different. Habakkuk is unique in that he speaks to God on behalf of the people. And Habakkuk speaks to God in a tone that is not common for a prophet. So if you had an opportunity to speak to God, I'm pretty sure that we would be very respectful. And we're going to take a look at how Habakkuk speaks to God. Let's talk briefly about the book of Habakkuk itself. It's not long. It's very short. Only 3 chapters long. It's divided into 5 sections. So the next 5 Bible periods, we're going to take a look at one section at a time. So first is Habakkuk's complaint, the Lord's answer. Habakkuk has a second complaint, the Lord's answer again. So we have some back and forth communication. Super cool. And then Habakkuk's prayer. And this is where I'm going to end for today. The book of Habakkuk has themes of faith and trust in God, especially when things aren't going our way. We live in a world and in a situation where things are not going our way. And we've been reading from Psalms and Proverbs that tell us to have faith in God and put trust in God. And it can be very difficult sometimes, especially when things aren't going our way. So this study of Habakkuk, I think is going to be very meaningful to us. That is all I have for you today. There is no assignment. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy your weekend.